Welcome to Friday. It's the 4th day of March 2022, your day weather podcast, brought to you exclusively by Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming's news authority. Visit them at cowboystatedaily.com and on their Facebook page. Winter is coming back, folks. It's been a good run, especially you compare this week's weather, which has felt like May, compared to last week's weather, where we were in the Arctic. But winter is just going to come back with vengeance, I'm afraid to say. We have two storm systems this weekend, one arriving late today and tonight into Saturday. Stock growers, you need to be prepared for a long spell of winter weather. It starts this weekend, but it doesn't stop. There's not a pattern of mild weather like we're enjoying now coming back anytime soon. Travel problems, Interstate 80, 25, 70, and 90 late tonight through Sunday. The mountain roads, the mountain passes, all of those things. If you need to travel, if you can get your travel done today, you can avoid most of the bad weather. But traveling tonight, Saturday, and Sunday, you're going to have some travel delays. There's another potential Arctic air outbreak by the middle of next week. Not 100% sure of it, but we're gaining confidence enough to put a shock in the system. Wait till we show you the temperature potential. As we go into the next several weeks, this pattern change is going to be good for the mountain snow in the coming weeks. I think the coming weeks, we're going to be able to play catch up on some of those snowpack numbers. And we see overall a colder trend for March and April. We got some new long-range information in today that is supporting that. Today's satellite photo showing all of the action. And you look across the Pacific. We got a low here, we got a low here, got a low here, we got the low in Southern California that's going to affect us. We got a little bit of a low pressure system northeast of Hawaii here. Basically, we call this a wave train. They're just all lined up, and the jet stream is poised to be in a position to allow these systems to come into the northern and central Rockies. If you focus in a little bit closer, this cloud shield right here, in advance of the developing low right here, and this is what's going to be causing all the weather here over the next 24 hours. Here it is, at the 500 millibar chart. It's just near LA, and also we've got this other low up behind it off the coast of Washington and Oregon. This system is going to move rapidly tonight and into Saturday morning there. This one comes in behind it, so it's a 1-2 punch. This system initially doesn't have really cold air with it because it's more of a Pacific origin, but this one back coming in Saturday night and Sunday will have Canadian air with it. So temperatures, yeah, they get colder tonight and Saturday, but they get quite a bit colder Sunday into Monday. By Saturday morning, you see this little circle right here? This is the upper level low. It's not a big upper level low. It's not like the storm that we had last March, but it's compact and it's really moist. And there's a lot of instability with it. In fact, I would not be surprised if some folks in Utah and Colorado and maybe even southern Wyoming have a rumble of thunder this evening and tonight as the system moves through. Then, as we get into Sunday morning, the secondary low behind it is west of the Four Corners. Now, this is not a really moist system, but upslope winds, the counterclockwise spin around the low, will bring upslope winds, and here's another reinforcing shot of Canadian air coming into Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah, and that's going to bring in the colder temperatures. This is what the forecast through Monday looks like. This is the water equivalent. Anywhere you see blue is a ½ inch or more. Yellow is potentially an inch or more. And as you get into the greens, you're talking around 1/4 of an inch. So you can see there's going to be good precipitation in this area here. Nothing excessive, but this area here will contain bands of heavy snow. Bands of heavy snow will be in this area here. It looks like the drainages, the snowpack areas here are going to benefit the most out of this system as it comes on through. So this is adding up both storms together. And this is what the snowfall forecast looks like through Monday afternoon. Pretty impressive. As we look ahead and zoom in, Wyoming here in the middle, you can see we have two axes of heavier precipitation. Along the Wasatch, through the Uintas, through the upper Green River Basin, into the Wind River Mountains, and the southern parts of Yellowstone Park and in and around the Jackson area. Then from Colorado's southwest mountains, through the central mountains of Colorado and southern Wyoming, into western Nebraska, southeastern Wyoming, and northern Colorado. We have in between these bands this area here where snow will fall, but amounts are going to be lighter. Nice little shot of snow also for the Bighorns. As we go forward, this is by next Tuesday. We have a weak low coming through the southwest, but you see this? Well, we showed you this yesterday. This is a strong upper level low with a very strong jet stream. You see how close these black lines are together? This is a jet stream wind coming in behind it at 30,000 feet that's going to drive this low here south into the northern Rockies. Back up here, there's a lot of very cold Arctic air that's going to get grabbed by this and just pulled straight in. Now, we're not 100% sure this is going to happen yet, but our confidence is growing that it will. This is by next Thursday into Friday. The door to the Canada region is open, the Northwest Territories, the Arctic areas. So temperatures are going to plunge. And look at the date. It's March 11th. Now, this is about as late as you're going to get Arctic outbreaks. They can happen in April. We've seen it before. But this is starting to get into that range to where you don't really expect a mid-March Arctic outbreak, but it looks like it's queued up. So this is by Thursday morning. The blue and the purple getting down into the northern areas of Colorado. You can see back into Montana, the Pacific Northwest here, really, really cold. And look at these temperatures by Friday morning. Another Arctic wave, a lot of purple on the map, blue norther into Texas by next Friday. And then as we go forward, look at these temperatures and precipitation amounts. This is with the second wave. We're going to have a significant snow event likely for Montana, probably around Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And then snows will break out into Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, into the plain states as well as that Arctic wave goes through. Now look at these forecasted temperatures. This is for Thursday morning. Anywhere you see gray, it's below zero. This is by Thursday morning. This is by Friday morning. Now this would be rather remarkable when you look at these temperatures for the 11th and 12th of March across parts of the Intermountain West. So this is why we want to stress very strongly to anybody in calving operations, this is not just a weekend storm, it's a weekend storm, but then a midweek Arctic outbreak with some snow coming our way. As we look ahead at the pattern, we had mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that we felt that the pattern was going to be more favorable for the high country of the West to get the snowpack going again. And what we have, that wave train I showed you in the North Pacific, is something that's going to carry forward into the next couple of weeks. So this is by next Saturday. By next Saturday, the Arctic air eases a bit, but you see this wave here? You see this wave here? Well, the jet stream wind is going to come right along and be persistent in this area. And these waves, each of these waves coming through, produce good snow in the mountains. So this is by Saturday of next week. This will be in by Sunday and into Monday. By Tuesday, the 15th of March, here comes another wave. That'll come in right around or just after St. Patrick's Day. Then this is the 19th. This is another one that's going to come through right around the 20th and 21st. So these systems are all lined up and they're queued up to give us a precipitation pattern like this. And when you see this, when you see these orange, brighter areas, notice the colors decrease because the mountains take more and more moisture as they go further east. But this is a really good snowpack maker for the big mountain ranges of Canada, the Pacific Northwest, and the Central and Northern Rockies. Still concerned about this area right here. That remains very, very dry. These are the temperatures over the next 45 days relative to the 30-year normals. This is through April 18th. So you can see the Intermountain West, the Pacific Northwest, and the Northern Plains are all in blue. That means over the next 45 days, the long-range modeling is seeing that it more often than not is going to be colder. So this supports the trends that we've been thinking about, that this March and into April are likely going to be, it's going to be a colder start to spring, certainly compared to the last couple of spring seasons. Have yourself a great weekend. Lots going on. We'll have an update for you on Monday.